Some movie characters are born to show their potential to the world.
I've abandoned my child!
Others are created by the world around them. In Brian De Palma's Scarface, Al Pacino created a character who doesn't just chase power, he worships it.
Antonio Montana. And you? What you call yourself?
Antonio or Tony Montana isn't just another gangster. He's a face of ambition gone wrong. From nothing to everything, from power to paranoia, his story is one of the most chilling journeys ever captured on film. Let's see what makes Tony Montana so chilling at the same point most terrifyingly good on screen. You're watching Prime Cinephile, and if you love movies as much as I love, don't forget to subscribe for deeply rooted videos about cinema. Antonio Montana from Scarface is one of those characters. He isn't just evil, he's human, he's confident, ambitious, brutally honest, and completely unafraid. The story of Scarface begins with Tony arriving in Miami as a Cuban refugee. He has nothing, no money, no power, no name, but he does have something stronger, that is hunger. He is hungry to rise, to prove himself, to take what the world denied him. When he says the line, "The world is yours," it becomes more than just a dream, it's his obsession. And it's this obsession that drives him from the bottom of society to the top of the Miami's drug empire. But as we soon see, the higher he climbs, the darker he becomes. Tony Montana represents the twisted version of American dream. He believes hard work can't get you to the top, only power and fear can. So he builds his empire with violence, betrayal, and cocaine. What's chilling about him is how understandable he feels in the beginning. He's just another man, trying to survive in a world that rejected him. But once he gets a taste of power, there's no turning back. The dream that was supposed to save him becomes the very thing that destroyed him. Tony's biggest weakness is his need for control.
You don't even know how to be a husband. You're stuck banging around all the time.
He doesn't just want success, he wants absolute control over everything and everyone. He wants to decide who lives, who dies, and who gets respect. But as his empire grows, so does his paranoia. He trusts no one, not even his best friend Manny. He starts losing touch with reality, consumed by his own ego and fear. And that's where he becomes truly frightening. A man who can destroy anyone, including himself, just to feel in charge. None of this would work without Al Pacino. His performance is electric, unpredictable, intense, and completely alive. He switches from quiet confidence to explosive rage in seconds. Every look, every line, every movement feels dangerous. The way he delivers his famous lines, like "Say hello to my little friend," isn't just dramatic, it's terrifying. Because you see a man who lost everything, but still refuses to back down. Pacino doesn't just act, he becomes Tony Montana. In the beginning, Tony is rough around the edges, but charming. He is funny, bold, and ambitious. But success changes him. The money, the drugs, the power, they feed his ego until he believes he is untouchable. Brian De Palma shows this transformation visually. At first, the film feels gritty and realistic. As Tony gains power, the world around him becomes brighter, richer, and more artificial, like he's living inside a golden cage. Everything looks perfect, but Tony's soul is completely empty. Every rise has a fall, and this character is brutal. By himself, he loses everything he loves, and ends up isolated in his mansion surrounded by cocaine and enemies. When the assassins finally break in, Tony doesn't beg or run. He stands his ground, armed to the teeth, shouting his most iconic line,
Say hello to my little friend!
It's a chaotic, tragic ending. Tony dies alone, his body falling beneath a statue that says, "The world is yours." It's poetic irony. The dream that drove him now lies about him, forever out of reach. Tony Montana looks terrifically good at screen because he's real. He is not a fantasy character. He is what happens when ambition has no limits. He's proved that power without morality always leads to destruction. Sometimes we see bits of Tony in ourselves. that hunger for success, the fear of being powerless, the need to prove ourselves. That's what makes him so unsettling. We understand him even when we know he is wrong. When Scarface was released, it was criticized for his violence. But over time, it becomes a cult classic, especially in hip-hop culture and among filmmakers. People quote Tony Montana not because he's hero, but because he represents the fantasy of absolute power. Yet underneath that fantasy is a warning. The higher you climb, the harder you fall. This character reminds us that power without limits always leads to destruction. He wanted the world and lost himself chasing it. That's what makes the character of Tony Montana so unforgettable and so chilling yet terrifyingly good on screen. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe to Prime Cinephile and tell me which movie character you want me to explore next. Because every legend has a story and every story has a price. See you in the next video, guys. Till then, keep watching films, keep inspiring, keep learning and enjoy the greatest frames of cinematic beauty.